Hello everybody, welcome back to part 3 out of book 2, step by step. Hopefully we will finish this today. I really hope we do. We left off last time talking about harmonizing the G major scale, so we're on page 24. So let's do that really quick because we're coming to the key of G major and that has an F sharp in it. We just finished the key of F, which had the B flat. So let's start off by playing our scale. So you have a C major scale. Okay, then we have the F major scale, which has the B flat. Now we're going to play a G major scale. There's that F sharp. Okay, so again you want to, whenever you start a piece, play the major scale, whatever key it's in, just to kind of warm your fingers up and kind of get orientated. That's kind of how I practice my scale. I just will do it a few times before starting a song and maybe work on it for a few extra minutes if I'm feeling more motivated. But I would rather do that than spend 3 hours doing a major scale. You know, it would be better to spend your time doing a pentatonic scale, a major pentatonic or minor pentatonic, or some kind of scale that's going to give you some derive some benefit. Okay, that's kind of my take on the whole practicing of the major scale thing. But I have to admit, when you do practice the major scales, it does get your fingers going pretty good too. So I'm not completely against it, but I think you could spend a lot more hours practicing something, a different pentatonic scale, something that you're going to actually use when you're playing. Okay, so let's harmonize the G major scale. Okay, so we start on G again. We're going to get our little triad. So remember, now we have the F sharp that we have to watch out for. So here we have G, G, okay, then we have A minor, okay. Now right off the bat, here we come, we're coming up. See, here's an F, that needs to be a sharp, okay. And by now you might be starting to see the sequence, how we always get a major. We have 2 minors. We have G, A minor, B minor, C. Now we're coming to this D. Here's that F again. That's going to be an F sharp. So there's our C, our D, and then we have an E minor, and then this is going to be our F sharp diminished, then back to G. Okay, let me do that again for you. Okay, so we have G, A minor, B minor, C, D major, E minor, F diminished, back to G. Okay, and let's look at this B really quick. Remember that so far, like all most of these chords, we always start on a white and we end on a white. Okay, the 2 B's are the oddball. Okay, so let's play a regular B major. Okay. Notice how we start on a white and we end on a black note. Only the B's do that. This is your major third right here. It just so happened when we were harmonizing this, this note was already where it needed to be, that minor. We just had to make that, you see, here's B major, here's B minor. Now if we do the B flat, notice how we're going black to white. This would be a B flat minor, okay? Just be aware of that, not to get off track on this whole thing. But anyways, that's harmonizing your G scale. And again, what's the 1, 4, and 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here's your 1 chord, here's your 4 chord, and here's your 5 chord. And again, that 5 could be a 7. We're not going to worry about that, but when you're playing these songs, just look for those chords within the song, okay? If that's kind of like once you really learn it, and especially if you're working on a song that's giving you a problem, that's when it's really good to see all this stuff. So let's dive in and do Little Chipmunks. So we have, again, you have that sharp at the very beginning, the F sharp, so you know you're in G. And look at where I'm starting too. Starting right off of a G chord. Okay, now let's go down and do ice skating. We're still in the key of G. Okay. Three Blind Mice. This one is like one of my least favorite. I don't know why they always put these in these books, but let's just do it and get it over with. And I'm warning you, this one could be confusing. So let's just kind of take it real slow here. So and it's mostly just confusing with the timing. So we're in 3/4. We're in the key of G. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Notice we have this tie. So we're going to go 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's Three Blind Mice. Then we get to page 26. We just have these more exercises. You want to go through and work through those, make sure you understand them. If you have any questions, just send me a message or something. Should be pretty straightforward. So now we have 2-note chords, okay? And you can see how these are written on the line. They're just connected together, and also notice how they're stacked. You know you're going to have a white note in between when you see it going from line to line or space to space. And again, you know, one of the advantages of a guitar player is that they just see the chord name and they know that shape, they associate it with the shape. So as a piano player, we need to get used to looking at those 2 notes and knowing, you know, that it's going to be those 2 notes. It's basically just the top part of a C chord. Anyways, let's give this a try here. Okay, I go to school. Now look what they've done down here. You got to watch out. They've shifted back to the key of F. Okay, so now you have that B flat. And like I said before, sometimes if you're not aware of this, you start playing a song and you cannot figure out why it sounds so horrible. And then you realize, oh, I've got a B flat, or I've got an F sharp. It happens every now and then. Okay, I go to school. Okay. Okay, now we get into Japanese fan. We're starting with a D with your thumb. We have the D sharp, E, E flat. Now we're going back to the D and we want it to be a natural. So they put the natural sign there. So we end up with that. Okay, that's Japanese fan. Now they're giving us the new E note, okay? So notice where that is on the staff. We said that on the bass clef, that it spells Ace Garage, A-C-E, and then the top space is G, okay? And notice that this E is right on that space where you have that little dot. There's that little bitty tiny dot next to it. I always think of the girl's name Dot E, okay? That will help you remember that that space is E, Dot E. And again, another kind of way of associating those notes. And again, they're showing you at the bottom of the page how it's related to this low C that we already learned. Again, notice how it's going from the low C space to space. You know you're going to have a white note in between when you see that. Okay. And again, I might point out, going back up here to the top on Japanese fan, and when we get up here, let's look at this just real quickly, okay? This G and the B. See how they're both stacked on top of each other? Here's your G. See how you have a white note in between when they're stacked like that? Eventually you're going to start getting used to seeing those relationships. Okay, so now let's go to page 30. You can see again we're playing a C arpeggio. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again, there's not much to say about that one. You're in the key of C, just you know, going through the arpeggio. You can kind of see if these were, you can see how you're going space, 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 so you know that's going to be a C chord. And then same thing with the right hand, line, line, line. So you know you have white notes in between all of them. Okay, colored lights. Again, no sharps or flats, so we're in the key of C. You can see that that's just a C chord. Now they're trying to confuse us. They're just playing that C backwards, okay, from what the last one was. They're pretty sneaky. The other thing to notice is notice on the top line that they're toggling. They've got this G note going all the way across. It's good to see relationships like that. And again, as they're starting to get a little bit more complicated in this book, you can just do just one hand at first. Let's just look at the top measure for the fun of it. Second measure. That's all the right hand is doing. So now you have the left hand. Skip, skip, and away we go. We're still in the key of C. You can notice they're outlining a C chord right there with your left hand. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, you'll notice that playing in this position we have the number 2 finger, or the F note. You'll notice that in this one here we have the F note and the D played with number 2 fingers. Okay, what's happening here? Again, we're playing C to G7. So you can see that this note is the 7th. It's the 7th of the G. Okay, and then again, if we were to play a G chord, there's the 5th right there. This is the 7th. So that's what they're playing. Okay, so just bear that in mind. That pops up quite a bit too. And like I said, you're going to see this combination. So like in the key of C, you want to start recognizing that as a G7th. Again, if I play a G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there's the F sharp. If I flat it, see that? There's your G7th, okay? But if I put the G, this G down here, put it back on top, there's that dissonant sounding G7th, okay? So whenever you see those 2 dissonant notes together, you're going to know you're playing a G7. Okay, so let's go the new D. Okay, let's look at this real quickly. The D is easy to remember on bass clef. I like to use on the lines, good boys do fine always. Okay, I want you to use that memory trick because on the treble clef it's every good boy does fine. On bass clef, good boys do fine always. But this is easy to remember because the D is right smack dab in the middle. Okay, see it right there? It's the very middle line. So treble clef, the B is the middle line. bass clef D is the middle line, okay? That should help you remember that. So let's do Song of the Cello. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so that's Song of the Cello. Okay, let's do Rainbow. You'll notice that they had that F and that D in there, which was probably going to the G7th, okay? So early morning, we're back in the key of C now. I was thinking, I want to point something out to you. Notice again, when you get here, notice how you're going space, line, space, line, space. So you know you're going to have just one note after the other. There's no sharps or flats, so you know you're going C, D, E, F, G, okay? You're walking right up the scale. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, are you sleeping? Right here, you're going to put your fourth finger where your pinky was. Okay, good one to practice. And then the new note on the treble clef is the A above middle C. Here's middle C, this is the A. Again, remember the treble clef face in the space, so that's your A. And let's see this one here, they're doing something kind of funky on swinging. They're doing your left hand over to play this this A note. Mainly because I guess they don't want you to shift out of position here or whatever the reason is, but so it goes okay, change of fingering. Okay, so now they're talking about finger marks. So we're back in the key of F. And basically here they're just telling you to be aware of the finger markings. And it really is nice when they put those in there. Sometimes I don't agree with all of them, but 95% of the time it's like I do exactly what the way they have it. So let's look at what they've got going here. We're in the key of F. They're starting with your third finger on the F. A lot of this too is just getting orientated before you start a song. Oops, forgot about that B flat. Okay, now we're going to talk about the DC Alfini on this one here. So basically the DC Alfini, DC means da capo, and then Alfini to fini. It says when you see this in a piece, it means that you must go back to the beginning of the piece again and play it until you come to the word fini. You'll find the word fini in the eighth measure of this piece. So basically you're going to start at the top. You're going to go all the way through. You see this DC Alfini. Means the cap over the top, so you go back to the top and you end right here on fini. Okay, so let's see if we can do this one here. Again, we're in the key of F. You've got that B flat there, so. Okay, funny little bunny rocking chair. I'm just going to kind of zip through these here. Looks like nothing new here. Okay, so that's rocking chair. Hope I tried to do that slow for you, so, wow, this is turning out to be a really long lesson today. So let's do, again, do those exercises on pages, we got 38, 39, and 40, so do those exercises. Let's see if we can just finish this up here. We only got a few songs left. Okay. A new B, that's the B we were talking about, that's right smack dab in the middle of the treble clef, right up here, the B above middle C, okay? So we have okay, okay, so that's clowns. That's pretty easy. It's just basically, they're just kind of starting with the C going down, just walking down the scales, all that's doing. Okay, so that should be easy for you. Again, you've got the 8 notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, okay? Okay, still here, we've got, let's do Prairie Song. That's the last one in the book. You're in the key of C. Okay, anyway, so then you've got the final checkup on page 43, so definitely do that, and that will complete the step-by-step book 2, and then we will go through and do pieces to play next time. So practice this book and then book 1, and also find any kind of kids books or any used books you can get your hands on. You want to find easy stuff to read, and just keep plugging away at it, and you will get better, I promise you. So anyways, have a great day. I really appreciate it, and subscribe to my website, and leave any comments. Feel free to leave any messages with me, and I'll be glad to help you out, and we will see you next time around. Okay, thanks very much. Bye-bye. Catch you later.